Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Paul. I do want to apologize. I know I've been neglectful for the last several months, not putting any videos up, so I do apologize. I've been putting a lot of hours in lately, and by the time I get home, I have about enough time to do my own stuff and take care of my puppy and take care of these guys. I just haven't had it in me to do any videos, so I'm getting harassed. I need to get some videos up. And this particular video I'm doing for a very specific viewer who has been, who's building some formicariums for a wonderful cause. So I've been working with her and offering her some of my successes and failures, and hopefully assist. So I promised I'd make a video for her, just show some of my colonies and the formicariums that they're in, and thought I would take the opportunity to make a video for all of you. So I certainly appreciate you guys watching. I got one of my videos got over 22,000 views. I thank you all. And it still amazes me that people watch these videos. It truly does. But thank you all for your great comments. And I do apologize for those that I don't respond to. I do make an effort. I do this off my cell phone, guys. I don't have any kind of, editing software. I kind of do it on my phone, post it, kind of one take type thing. So one day I'll get an actual legitimate camera and some editing software and build some really good videos. But for the moment, this is what you get, and you guys seem to be enjoying it. So thank you for that. What you're looking at is my big Noble Messer colony. I caught this queen back in July of 2016, and as with all my colonies, I catch the queen during their nuptial flight. I do not raid any nests. Not that I have anything against it. When I was a kid and into ants, I did it, but I like the process of catching the queen during a nuptial flight and allowing her to start her colony in captivity, opposed to removing them from an existing nest. So this is a Tar Heel ants nucleus. The reason the Noble Messers, and for those of you that don't know, I'm in southern Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, but for those of you outside of Arizona and the United States, I'm in southern Arizona. Very arid desert climate. Excuse me. The Noble Messers are an absolutely fun species to keep. They are very forgiving from the standpoint of the nest that they're in, the food that you give them. The one thing is the fluon doesn't seem to work on them. As you can see, they're crawling all the way up to the top of the foraging area, and I put on fluon. It lasts for a week or two, and then they've been able to beat it. Other colonies that I keep, they can't get past the fluon, but these guys can. So it can be a challenge, but it makes it fun. As I was feeding them, I was giving them some honey water earlier. I apologize, just ate and something went down the wrong tube. Anyway, I got some honey on the wall, and that's what they're feeding off of right now, which I'm usually pretty good about it, but I had some escapees and was getting nervous, so let me adjust this real quick, because when these guys escape, unfortunately, a little too much, they clamp onto the tweezers or the brush or whatever, and they just don't let off. So when I'm trying to get them back into the nest, they just clamp on, and other escapees, and it's just it's very difficult to catch them and get them back into the nest without hurting them. So I tend to rush when I'm feeding these guys, but got some honey up there on the glass, but they'll make short order of that, and it's kind of neat in these close-ups to see them actually eating. You can see that one ant that's just going to town, taking some chunks. And I typically, with these, I water down the honey a little bit, make it a little bit runnier. The water will eventually evaporate, but these guys, they make very short order of it. And then there's the actual feeding dish that I was aiming for. I did get some in there though, so I did succeed in that goal, but I made a mess while doing so. Anyway, let's go look inside. Normally I'd hit pause when I move it, but let's just go ahead. So this is one of the sides of the nucleus. It's a two-sided formicarium. I'm just gonna, that one hole you see towards the left of your screen, that goes up to the surface. So These guys are feeding on the nest mate, which is just a little tube with a fine mesh on it and a stopper, holds water. And I think it's a ingenious design for feeding water, and they definitely like it. There's our top tier. Let's look at the bottom three. Now, let's see here. I'll just do the second one real quick. Excuse me. And let's move down. There's our water tower. And it looks like all of our brood is in there. And it looks like the queen is, yep, there's the queen. Let me see if I can point it out. So if you don't see her, there's the queen right there. And with this colony, it's kind of cool when you see the queen, because it's gotten so big that, you know, she just kind of blends into the background, and I rarely even see her anymore. And you know, when you're new at ant keeping, you always want to see that queen. Over time, you know, as long as the colony is healthy and growing, that's all you care about. You know, if you can't see the queen, you can't see the queen. Let's scoot this bad boy around. And here is side 2. So the second side has 2 water towers. And let's scroll up here. Now, initially when I moved this colony over, oops, sorry guys, I plugged off the second side, and as the colony started to outgrow the first side, I just used cotton swabs, and I opened that up for them. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fill this water tower right here, or this nest mate. So let me zoom out. Let's see if you guys can catch this. So what I do when I do these water towers, I always have a little stopper. Let's see if I can find there it is. Because they will escape. And like I said, I don't like to let these guys out because they're very difficult to get back in. I'll try to do this on camera. So I just have and if you buy anything from Tar Heel Ants, he will typically, if you buy a formicarium, he'll typically include a syringe and a blunt tip. Let's move that out of the way. So with this guy, just pull a stopper off. Then you got to plug the back. Let's see if I can do this here. Okay. Then just plug that guy. You just got a little mesh. And saw an ant just went up there. See if he'll, probably because he's trying to get away from the light. Realize, it's dark and I can get away from the light. I don't want him to escape. He's still up there. I call him a he, and we all know it's a she, but let's see here. Yep, I did have an ant, a couple in there. Okay, so now the fun starts. Oh, come on, get up there. I'm trying to manage some escapees right now, so bear with me. Yep. These things are... Okay, got them all back in. Now, I just want to see how quick, when they discover there's water, so she'll probably get her fill, and then she'll probably run back and tell some of her sisters that, hey, we got water over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom away from this nest real quick, show you some other ones. Oh, let's see here. Probably drop some pheromones. I always love what. Oh, I got one more escapee. How'd you get out, Missy? I'm gonna let her go. When I be escapee, let me scroll. Yeah, like I said, one escapee. I'll deal with her in a second. There you go. Didn't take but a couple seconds, and the colony knows they got water. All right, so let's zoom away to another nest. Grab my escapee and put her in a little holding area. I'm ready to put her back in. Kind of learned, excuse me, that I keep a little holding area that I put them in when they escape, and then when they calm down, then I'm able to get the escapee back in. So, okay, let's zoom back out. Well, guys, I've got a bit of a mess here, so I do apologize. I try to clean up before I take a video, but this was an impromptu. So this is kind of I'm going to show you the setup I've got. Zoom out here. So that's my big Novomessor. These guys, these 4 Novomessor. Here's my honey pot. Here are the surviving honey pots in the mini hearse from the 2017 monsoon season. And this is my Pogonomeryx barbidus. And what you see there is all the, I use wax paper. I'll sometimes use acrylic, but a lot of times I use wax paper and put food on that. So that's just where I put them when I'm done with them, but haven't cleaned up. So let's just kind of go through here real quick. So let's see if I can make some room. So here is another Novomessor. This colony, this was a July of 2016 as well. I moved them from a test tube, the mini hearth, in September of 2016 with 4 workers. So September of 2016, they had 4 workers. Today it is January 7th, 2018. So, and you can see the queen right there, dead center. I don't know if you guys see her right there. Sorry for the shakiness, but anyway. Moving on out. And this is a fortress. Let's go around and look at the... guys, I always keep my nest covered. And here's the foraging area. You can see I've got the fluon up there, and I've got my girls walking. They're not even fazed by it. And then there's our graveyard, so dead ants go in that corner. So that is one of my Novomessors, one of my 5 Novomessor colonies that I currently have. Here's another one. This one, let's see what I caught her. This was a July 2016. Moved them into the mini hearth in September of 2016 and had 2 ants. So September of 2016, there were 2 worker ants. Oh, I'm sorry, this earlier one I showed you, so I moved it to the mini hearth in 2016, and I moved to the fortress May of last year, 2017, so I apologize. So this one went to the mini hearth in September of 2016, had 2 worker ants, and then I moved to this particular formicarium, the fortress, of June of last year, and there's about 50 ants when I moved them. And same thing in the foraging area, they're walking up on the edges, so very difficult to contain. And then you can see the cemetery corner right there, or the morgue, whatever you want to call it. I gotta scoop them out. Let's move on. Oh, there we go. Let's move on to the next one. So this is a bit of a smaller colony. I don't have any notes on it. Oh, shame on me. But a little bit smaller. And much smaller. And this colony, I don't know what's going on with it. This was another queen I caught in July of 2016, moved to the mini hearth, and in September of 2016 moved to this particular formicarium, April of last year of 2017, and they're just not doing well. And I'm not sure what it is. You know, I see larvae down there in the water tower. Let's see if I can actually see the queen. Not sure where the queen is. Oh, there's the queen. She's like, there she is right there. I'm going to give them some water. Let's see if I can. And if they start getting up there by the stopper, I'm not going to even bother putting the water tower in, because I don't want to risk hurting any of these worker ants. Not in this colony. They're too few, and I've had this colony for a while, so I don't know why they're all of a sudden not doing very well. But they really haven't been. Okay, so there you go. They got water. Excuse me. And moving on to our Miramic, I can't pronounce it, honey pots. So, and these guys I tend to shield more than the rest of them. The Novomessers are really, they don't care. The light doesn't really bother them, not as much as these guys. So I've got a dead cricket in there, some dead fruit flies. You can see a worker hanging out there. But yeah, this is our honey pots, cricket, bunch of fruit flies, and let's go ahead and look inside. Let's see if I can. I'm going to elevate the nest a little bit for you. These are kind of hard to look at, the way the way the replete actually. Oh damn! There's another escapee, another Novomesser escapee. These guys, they're my problem colony from that perspective. Okay, let me find something to elevate. I'm going to hit pause and I'll be right back. Alrighty. And we are back. So here are my honey pots. And this is the one colony that I started out in the mini hearth. And through collaboration with Mac at Tar Hill Ants, still see one ant in there, we were able to make an adjoining, and this is a fortress. And I was able to successfully move this colony, and this was more, not move, but relocate, just by, the way, and I've had no luck moving this particular colony, or this particular species, so this will be, to date, one of my more successful ones. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get the right camera angle here. This particular queen I caught July of 2016, so beginning of the monsoon season in 2016. I noticed the first ants in July of 2016, and then I connected the expansion chamber June of last year, 2017. And got most of them to move over. As you can see, there were some very big repletes at the time that ultimately died. They weren't able to make the move, and it looks like they tried to move them and unsuccessfully. So we've got the queen up there, and she's kind of a reddish color. Let me see if I can. So right there is our queen. Then you can see. Laser pointer here. Actually, let's see what I got. I think I might have something. Let's see how this works. And these guys always put something on the glass. I don't know what it is. It makes it kind of blurry, but you got a replete right there. You can see her and another one, early stages. Here's one, early stages. And you can definitely see the difference. Early stages of replete right there. So they're in there. But anyway, we designed this expansion chamber to be kind of a dome shape to kind of cater to the species. And Mac, I think, did an exceptional job. And I've also got the one issue I have, I think, with this one. The only issue I think I have is the mesh on the water tower is sagging. But doesn't seem to be affecting them. I just got to be careful when I put water in there, which I'm about to do, and just be cognizant that that mesh does sag in a little bit, so it'll pick up some water. In my experience, the ants have been very good of handling if I do overfill. I certainly try not to. Oh, gosh, sorry about the coughing. I'm putting water in there right now. And that is about half full, and that's about the extent of it. And I'm leaving the other side dry because I don't want to encourage them to move back over. And then let's scroll up. And there they are. That's the Nestmates. That's one of their water supplies. I offer them multiple different water supplies, but that's one of them. And you can see one replete right there, kind of moving around. Right there. For those of you guys, this is a no-touch thermometer. It is 78 degrees in there right now. All right, let's put these guys to bed. Okay. Oh, what a mess I've got out here. Let's relocate. Be right back. Alrighty, so what we got here, I believe this is the phalanx, I believe. And in this particular nest, I've got my Pogonomeryx barbatus. This is a very interesting colony. This one I caught back in, I want to say it was monsoon of 2017. I want to say it was 2017, maybe earlier. But she did not produce anything for the first year. And then, of course, second year, she started, laying eggs, had her first nenictic, and then has just been just kind of blown up since. And to say they like seeds is an understatement. Any seed I put out there, they bring in. So I think they're good for a little bit. And this is a two-sided nest as well. Got two watering towers that span both sides of the nest. Let's spin her around. And I've got two Nestmates, one right there. This one I just leave open for ventilation, and a lot of it's just wanting to see what they do, see if they like it or not. And they're over there, so they've got, if you see all those seeds right there are right by the ventilation, so they're obviously content with that. They got some more seeds. So they don't get any more seeds for a while. They got a lot of seeds in there. Oh, and there's our queen right there. I'm pretty positive. I don't see her. She's surprisingly not that much bigger than the workers. I mean, she is bigger, noticeable when you see them side by side, but not as big as you'd think. Not like some of the other species. And I'm assuming that's where all the brood is. That is the Pogonomeryx barbatus, the red harvester ant. And I like these guys, they're a lot of fun. Alright guys, now for some bonus material. So here's one of my honeypot queens that I caught this year, one of many, one of the surviving ones. Caught her August of 2017, and then moved them July. No, that doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. I caught July 17th of 2017 and moved them August 2017 to this nest. Let's see if I can't find. There they are. There's one of my honey pots, and it's got a pretty healthy brood in there. So it's amazing to see the size difference between the nenictics. There's that one. And out of all the ones I've got, I had a few that have died that actually started colonies, which feeding the same environment, so I really can't speak to why. Here's another one caught at the same time. Nothing with her. No brood, but I'm not gonna. Oh, sorry guys. I'm not gonna count her out yet. And the last one here, I looked at her this morning, and a little bit of advice on these guys: try to leave them alone as much as possible. This one, I thought I was gonna lose her some time ago, and probably still will. It looked like she had some mold or some bacteria on her. Yeah, you see like that fungus, that white on her back there. Something's not right, but nothing I can really do. So probably not going to last. But guys, that's probably one of the big things, is don't go too big. They get bacteria and all that crap in there. Smaller the nest, go as big as you need to go. But, if you keep it small, they'll typically move the waste outside the nest versus storing it in a part of the nest, and then you have to deal with bacteria and fungus and all that other gross stuff. So, and last but not least, and then I'm going to let you guys go because this is already turning into a pretty lengthy video, is this colony. And I have not identified them yet. I know some of you guys have offered some input, but not quite certain what they are. But I found her walking across the sidewalk. I thought she was going to die, and she has done surprisingly well. She's got some honey out there, and put her in a talus just to give her a foraging area. Anyway, so that's what I got, guys. If you have any questions, please post them, and I'll answer, and I'll do the best I can. Thank you, as always.